It's the obsession among kids right now, and has been for a while. My kids have been totally obsessed. Are you done?
It is Monday, February 12th, and you are listening to Just a Bit Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Chumpy Crash Reynolds, and this is my beautiful, sanctimonious counterpart. You know what sanctimonious means?
I don't, but it sounds great.
Adrian Bertazoid Townsend. Whoop. And before anybody asks, no, I'm not playing Monster Hunter World yet, so shut up about it.
Be prepared. I've got words to say.
He's already said so many words, and I'm like, stop talking. Well, stop talking about it on principle of the fact. You know? It's like telling a dude who lost all his teeth to a candy addiction that you've got gummy worms that he can't have. You've got my gummy worms right now.
Yeah.
B, I kept telling him to stop talking about it because I'm like, we're going to record a fucking show. Like, stop talking.
Save the info.
We've gotten so good at just not even addressing each other's existence in between shows.
Pretty much. Part. Actually, it's been that way for the past month.
We don't really talk to each other whenever we're not doing the show because we start talking about things that should be on the show.
Should we? If I had a penny for every time you said, should we save this? Should we table this until we do the show? Yeah. We probably should.
Yeah, I mean,
makes sense.
Those are the good conversations. If we do it and then if we talk about all that stuff in between and then get here and sit down and the well has run dry, I would just quit.
Yeah. There would be nothing to talk about. Yeah. Or we would be repeating ourselves.
We could have an hour special of us just reading all the game titles on your shelf.
There we go. That would be fun.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of hidden games back here too. I don't know if you noticed that.
Like behind the first row?
Oh, I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
It's this one.
The good thing is there's a wall back there, so.
Yeah.
At least you have that going for you.
I do, yeah. Oh, and speaking of, the collection, I just got an arcade machine. Before we get into what we're playing, yeah, and it's an old school Silkworm. Have you heard of this game before?
No,
I haven't either. It's new to me, and
I mean, I've played a game called Silkworm, but we probably shouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, let's table that. No, it doesn't have a monitor, but it has everything else. And what I'm going to do with it is just turn it into a Raspberry Pi main machine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a full-size classic arcade. It's in great shape. I mean, this thing was really taken care of. It came from from Amy's cousin. He had a few sitting in his garage, and I was like, man, you gotta let me get into one of those. And sure enough, we did a trade, and I was able to get it from him.
That's awesome.
And I brought it home and sitting in my garage, and I can't wait to start messing with it.
Now, okay, the question here is, are you going to leave the original graphics on the cabinet?
Well,
or are we going to put a Just a Bit wrap on it?
We could do it on the sides, because the sides are just black.
Okay.
But the front, I've got the Silkworm, I can't remember what those are called. The light box area.
Yeah.
And
like the marquee almost.
The marquee, that's what it is. And that artwork looks so good in 80s, I just want to keep it.
Well, sure.
And then on the bottom, where the joystick and the buttons are, there's another Silkworm.
That's cool.
That one I might take off, though, because it's kind of peeling up just a little bit.
Is it a little beat up?
Yeah, it's not horrible, but I'm going to have to drill new holes into it anyway. It's got 2 joysticks and 3 buttons for each joystick. I want to do 6. So I'm going to drill 3 more holes on each side for 6 buttons, because a lot of the newer main games require 6 buttons, like some
it's not just because you prefer to have 6 things to push. They'll have function.
Yeah, it'll have function. Yeah, I mean, like Street Fighter and stuff like that.
Sure,
you need those 6 buttons. Low, medium, high punch, and low, medium, high kick. Yeah, you got to have that stuff. So I'm definitely going to be fooling around with that and getting. The great thing is I already have a LCD monitor that fits perfectly within that hole. that shape of the.
You saw the eyebrows, didn't you?
I said it, and I was like, "Damn it, I'm setting them up." Well, anyway, I'm gonna set that monitor in there, and I'm gonna hook it up to my Raspberry Pi, which I already have programmed with games. You know, it's already set up for MAME. I just need to route my new buttons, and when I get them to that, and it's good to go, man. I can't wait to set that thing up.
That's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, it's gonna sit in my garage until we move into a bigger home. No way in hell my wife would let me bring it in here.
You just
crowded enough as it is.
Get rid of the dresser or the bookshelf.
Get rid of the bed. Who needs a bed? We just sleep on the couch, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, let's take it to the next page. Here.
Don't you start in on Monster Hunter yet.
I'm gonna let you tell me about what you've been playing first before I get into Monster Hunter.
I've been playing Monster Hunter.
What?
Yeah. On 2DS.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Monster Hunter 3.
Oh, okay. Tell me about it.
Well, today I turned it on and created a character.
Did you turn on Monster Hunter because of the Monster Hunter craze? You like?
Man, I couldn't stand it. Like, I wanted a taste, and I know it's not the same.
Yeah.
By any stretch, I know that. And that's such a tiny little screen. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
That I started a file on the 2DS, and it was so tiny that my lazy eye was just like...
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
Still having that same problem?
Oh, yeah, I have to play with one eye. Yeah. But, you know, I can get around it at that rate.
Yeah.
You know, I made a very fancy-looking pirate with a purple ponytail and a handlebar mustache.
So you create your own character to relate to yourself then?
Well, yeah, he looks...
You could actually wear an eye patch while you play the game.
You know, funny story... When I was a kid, I had to wear an eye patch.
Did you?
Before the doctor would prescribe me glasses, when I was like 8, I had to wear an eye patch.
Was it just the lazy eye too far off that it was hard to see?
Yeah. The lazy eye had to be left out of the eye patch to try to strengthen the muscles.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah, but actually all that happened was that my right eye got so accustomed to being shut off from this reality that I can now see into other realities.
Whoa.
Yeah, like an interdimensional vampire. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Sometimes it bugs me, you know.
Do you see things like the Upside Down? You don't watch Stranger Things. Never mind.
It's not that I don't watch Stranger Things. It's that I haven't watched Stranger Things.
Okay. All right.
There's a difference, I feel.
But you're at least familiar with the Upside Down, the alternate reality.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of like that. Kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you see our Upside Down.
I do.
Nice.
And it's filled with people that won't quit fucking talking about Monster Hunter World.
I think you're skewing reality with the alternate reality here. So, okay.
So, yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off there.
I made that file, and I played the first mission, and then Malone noticed that I was playing, and he took over.
Okay.
So that so far today is my Monster Hunter, adventure.
Monster Hunter, I think, would be complicated for a kid his age.
Well, it is. He just ran back. Like the very first opening mission is on a ship, and you're fighting a giant sand dragon, and he just ran back and forth. That's pretty much. And then he was like, "I think I want to play Bidgey Racing, that beach buggy game that he likes to play."
Yeah,
that is on that Instagram video.
Yep, I noticed.
That's what we were talking about was Bidgey Racing. Those of you that have been listening and haven't checked out the Instagram yet, Fat Big has started making appearances on our Instagram as our what would it be, on the scene anchor? Yeah. Our field anchor.
On top of that, Ryan's been posing questions on there for, to get some feedback from the audience. And, if you guys aren't on Instagram, hook up on there and give us a follow.
At JabGcast.
At JabGcast. I know in the past we said we weren't doing much on there, but you've kicked it up a notch quite a bit.
I've been having a good time with it.
Yeah.
I started looking around at all the nerdy junk I've collected over the years. Mm-hmm. And like the fact that I play games almost on a daily basis. And I'm like, how hard is it to snap a picture and put some pound tags on there and be who relates?
It's so hard.
It's so hard to do it.
You do it, and then you're like, oh, well, it's not perfect. I got to, tilt the screen or this or that.
Oh, yeah.
The lighting has to be right on. Oh, there's a glare I got to take care of.
There's a lot of fluffing that involves.
And then once you do it, you got to edit it,
mess with your filters and your tilt shift and
your contrast and your shadows.
And then all of the pound tags at the bottom.
Oh, the pound tags are killer. The pound tags to me are the worst part.
just coming up with what you got to put in there.
Yeah, it sucks. I hate doing that.
I've noticed you're like, you put like 3 pertaining to what you're actually doing and then like hashtag fun.
And then because it's fun.
Okay.
Well, you do the same thing. Craft beer.
Craft beer is my go-to on every single one of them.
Even though the post has nothing to do with craft beer.
Right. Podcast.
It's podcast reference.
Podcast craft beer. You know. So, okay, so we both got our cheats. I just didn't expect to get called out for mine.
You called me out first. Honestly, though, it's hard to come up with good pound tags. And you need to hit a bunch of them, you know. And that's the way, if you're not familiar with Instagram, that's the way your photos get noticed by other people who aren't following.
And I mean, like, then you got to make the decision between like gamer or gaming or games
or all 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Retro games, retro gaming, retro gamer, retro game, retro, and then game as separate pound tags.
It's a system, man, and it
gets out of control sometimes.
It does. As much as I would just like to snap a photo and post it up there and be done with it, I can't do that.
You know who shows up every time I do like anything involving pinball?
Who's that?
Like the pinball crowd. Like,
oh yeah,
these motherfuckers are on social media for real. They show up, man.
I don't remember what post did you do tagging pinball?
When I was on that Bethesda pinball kick, I might not have even hit Instagram with that. That might have just been Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I think it's on Instagram though, but we like got some followers and some likes and interaction from like the pinball crowd on all of our social media platforms from this one picture. And the only pound tag I used was pound tag pinball.
Yeah.
Someone is listening to this like, just cool it with the pound tag thing. It wasn't funny the first time you said it. It hasn't been funny the next 75.
Well, the thing is, if you are into Instagram and you have somewhat interesting collection to show or something that you think is cool, like for me, I'm very visual and I like to see pictures. I like to see photos that people post. Instagram is so much fun for that. It really is. It's just a good time to post things if you don't have to, you know, think too hard into it. You just gotta. I
mean, I always enjoyed Instagram. The hardest I've ever had to work on Instagram was when we were doing 10 penny.
Oh yeah,
I hit a point where I could not mess with that page anymore.
We did a daily design.
The daily designs, man, those got to a point where it was just eating my lunch.
Yeah, and they were tough.
Adrian kept going. You kept going with them.
We kept it going for a solid, 2 to 3 months, I would say.
Every single day for every day. 2 or 3 months, and then dropped to like every other day, like once a week.
At the job we were at the time, it was
accessible
there wasn't a whole lot going on, so it was like we get together at the table and be like, okay, what's going to be our daily post, and we quickly do something up. And dude, some of the best pieces I think that we ever came up with were on those daily designs.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It was a great exercise for just expressing creativity.
You know what idea I think had legs and never took off?
What's that?
The rubber band challenge.
I don't remember.
That was one where we threw the rubber bands on a piece of paper and had to draw a picture around.
Oh yeah.
I thought that idea had some legs. Never took off.
You did the birds. Yeah. Okay. So if you guys aren't familiar with what we're talking about, follow 10 penny MKTG at 10 penny MKTG on Instagram. And, you know, I would say it was 2-3 years ago we were doing this.
We started it 2 or 3 years ago.
Go back to the beginning of our posts and you'll see all of our daily designs. We had a really good time doing that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. I would like to do something like that again. Not a daily design, but something similar to that.
I'll never do it again.
I will.
It hurt me.
It was a lot of work.
In a deep spot, man.
It was a lot of work.
I don't think I drew anything for a while after I stepped away from that Instagram. I was like, man, I can't touch this anymore.
Yeah. It was fun, but
so that all being said, I started playing Monster Hunter 3.
Oh, really? I was wondering when we were going to bring it back.
And then I this month on the PlayStation Network, the free download is Knack, the original Knack.
Yeah.
And I started playing that. That game got a pretty bad rap when it came out. It didn't get very good reviews. Knack 2 that just recently came out actually got pretty decent reviews, and it's a much better looking game, much more fluid, higher definition, slightly different character design. It doesn't look as like outdated and blocky as the first one, but even at that rate, for a free download from the PlayStation Store, I'm having a good time with it.
Knack is a decent game.
Malone Fat Big likes it. You know,
it's a great kids game. I think it's hard though. It's a really hard game.
It is hard, but he has a good time running around. As always, though, he kind of misses the point. Like, I was running an obstacle course through this, not really an obstacle course, but it's like the level through this kind of canyon valley.
Yeah.
And he was like, there's water off that cliff. I was like, I know. And he goes, hold on, and took the controller from me and jumped me off the cliff and said, now you're in the water. But no, like now I died and had to start the whole thing over.
Thanks a lot.
That's how he is whenever he plays that Bidgey racing.
Yeah.
He's like, there's an obstacle pop up and he'll like stop his car and reverse until he sees the obstacle and then go hit it. Because I don't know.
So he's just the destructive.
He's just destructive.
3-year-old.
He's a walking tornado, the kid. So
that makes sense.
Still been playing Wolfenstein. I haven't finished it
yet. When you're done with that, I would like to give it a shot.
You ready? I meant to bring it because I haven't picked it up in a couple of weeks.
To be completely honest with you, I'm so deep into Monster Hunter right now that I still won't have time for it.
How deep are you?
Deep enough to talk about Knack some more. I wanted to mention some things about that.
Okay, so let's talk about
because Monster Hunter is going to really consume me right now.
You about to blow up?
I will blow up on it.
You gonna twist off?
Yes.
Hey, Tom Cruise, if you're listening to this, make sure you tell my wife that I used twist off on the podcast. She'll get it.
Inside joke.
Kind of. It's also for you, Dylan Adams.
On Knack. So what I wanted to say about it is, I don't think it got the credibility it deserved, because I think the storyline is okay. It's fine. It's graphics,
very linear.
It's so linear it hurts. But I don't care. Linear games are
the charm
fun.
of it, honestly.
Yeah. But the problem that I had with it was that every level was exactly the same as the previous level. The scenery was a little bit different, but you start off as Little Knack and you get to be Big Knack, and then you fight a boss and you're done. Or you don't fight a boss, you just finish the level.
Right.
And that is done through several levels. I think that game took me, 14 hours to beat. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I played it. But I remember thinking, is this game done yet? Is it done yet? It just got so repetitive that it drug on too long. I think had they cut down a few levels or made them short, the levels, keep the same number of levels, just make them shorter. Yeah. I think that game would have been a lot better.
Because those levels are long. For the way it's designed.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather have a shorter level with a greater density of opponents.
That or the difficulty was really... The difficulty was not fun either. Because you would die often, but the checkpoints were so few and far between. Yeah. It would knock you back a long ways. You'll be close to the end
of the level and die and have to start over.
And then, trying to get to that point again. Now, it's not so hard you can't do it, because I beat the game and I enjoyed what I played of it, but those are the two complaints. Not enough checkpoints, too far to go through the levels. But with that being said, it's still a good game, and I think it's still worthy of... I still played through it. Yeah. It wasn't so bad that I quit playing, because if a game if I get bored with a game, I'll quit playing it. That game kept me going, and I saw it through to the end, and I enjoyed what I played of it. I will play Knack 2 at some point in time. It's just very low on my priority list.
Malone got in the PlayStation Store and bought it.
Knack 2?
Yeah.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah. That's what got me hooked enough to want to play the first one.
I played the demo of number 2, and it was so much like the first one that it wasn't enough to instigate me to move forward.
The beginning of the second one is better enough than what I've played of the first one.
Really?
That I will revisit and play the second one.
That's interesting to know. It's been dirt cheap lately. I don't know what you paid for it, but...
Like $40.
Oh, yeah, it's
because he was playing, and I was like... Because we played the demo, and then he was playing that, and I was like, why do you have this?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I started it. I was like, where did you get it? And he said, not money. I was like... Well, yeah. That's incriminating. So I look in the bank account, and I see that there's a charge. Well, actually, Shelby looked, and there was a charge for this game. And I called PlayStation support, and I was like, hey, man... I've got a toddler. I didn't mean to buy this game. And the guy's like, say no more, homie. And he was like 20, made a lot of jokes about my name being Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Asked me how Deadpool 2 was coming along. And I was like, the funny thing is you're the first person to make those jokes, pal. So he refunds the game, and then they left it on the system for like 2 weeks before they took it away from us.
Okay.
So I played through a good portion of it before they took it back. And I'm like, all right, at some point I'll buy this again.
Honestly, that is really cool that they did that. I thought you were going to tell me they said, oh, sorry, you stuck with it. That's really cool. I'm
Remember when it was your decision to keep the toddler?
Pointer,
your game.
I have it set up to where I have to enter in my password every time I make a purchase.
Yeah, I keep saying I'm going to do that, and then don't.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I need to. I did that once. It was late at night, and I may or may not have been less than sober and had to call support to get my system unlocked.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, so
I had to set up parental controls on set up a password for purchasing on Xbox. Because Owen was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
He would play Roblox and buy credits on Roblox. It's like, there's no way. I am not giving money to that stupid game. I really hate that game.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
We've never talked about it.
Roblox is...
I see it everywhere, though.
It's a community created... It's like a set of tools and community create stuff for it. And it's...
I see like little action figures and stuff at Walmart and Target.
So these are like really crappy games that other people have made, but they're online. So you get online and you play with other people. And I think that's the draw of the game. But you play these really crappy games with really crappy controls, and they're super frustrating. And I see the kids getting frustrated with what they're playing. But then they'll play another game where they're like a My Little Pony, and they're talking to other My Little Ponies, and they're prancing around, and I don't know. I don't get it. The only thing I can get from that game is it's like an MMO for kids.
Okay. And I mean, when you explain it like that, I can kind of see the draw.
Yeah.
For them to be on there.
My kids are totally obsessed with that game. All four of them. They just love it, and I hate it. And I hate that they're accidentally buying currency on the Xbox when they play. So
maybe he knows good and well what he's doing.
He does. Well, every time it happens, I get an email on my phone, and I have to call Amy. Owen's on the Xbox buying stuff again. She has to get him off of there. But I put on a password, so that won't happen anymore. But are you ready to talk about Monster Hunter now?
Well,
since I cut off that segue earlier.
I guess.
All right, I'm basically gonna give like my personal review of the game, and I've got several points I want to talk about.
Do you want a theme song?
Give me a theme song, please.
It's Adrian's review.
All right. Oh, I didn't know if I was. So, Monster Hunter is a game that I've always been interested in and always wanted to try to play, and I have. I've tested it twice. I've got Monster Hunter 3 on the Wii U, and that's probably the one I've played the most. And I couldn't get past the controls. They were just weird, you know?
Yeah.
And they, it didn't feel intuitive enough. There was no lock on. Like, I would really love to lock on to the monsters while I'm fighting them. So it's hard to maneuver your guy in your field of view while still pushing these buttons. And the animations are really slow whenever you're swiping at them, you know? On top of that, there was too many loot quests where you had to go out and collect things, and I got really bored with that. I think I played for a good, 6 hours or so before I was like, okay, I've experienced it, I'm done.
Right.
But I still I liked the world, I liked the monster design, and I still wanted to keep playing that game. I was like, I could see this game being fun if you were playing with friends. So I tried it again on the 3DS with Monster Hunter 4, and still reaction. It felt like the same thing to me, and it really wasn't doing it for me. So when Monster Hunter World was announced, they showed off screenshots or videos of it, and it looks beautiful. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to get into it, but then my friend Billy, he's like, we played through the beta, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to get this game. I was like, well, if you're going to get it, I'm going to get it. Because this game seems like, when we played with the beta, it was a lot of fun to play with a friend.
Honestly, I heard a lot of people that were kind of like, oh yeah, this game's coming out. and then played the beta and we're like, yeah, this game's coming out.
The beta sold me on this game. I was not interested in it at all until after I played the beta. The beta was a really great demo for this game, especially if you had friends to play with, because that's what it was showcasing is multiplayer, co-op, taking down this really hard monster. Graphics are beautiful. But getting further into it, I gave it a try on the beta, was sold, bought it, started playing with my buddy, Billy, and then also JJ. And we got on there and we powered through several monsters. And after that, I was like, dude, I love this game. It's so much fun to just get on there and meet up with your buddies and go take down this monster. It's not an easy task, you know. Some of them are, a lot of them are, but there are some monsters that are just really hard. So you set up your character with all these different kinds of weapons. There's swords, there's great swords, there's axes, there's bows, there's like guns, there's you name it, they got it. And everyone controls a little bit differently, and they each have their own special ability. So whatever
now in World, do you have like a kitty cat companion?
Yes, you do. You do have a cat companion. You get to name him, and you get to dress him out with different kind of armor from the monsters that you kill.
Yeah, in the profile I made today, my pirate dude was named Chumpy, and my little kitty cat was named Crash.
There you go.
Yeah.
You want my name?
What?
My cat's name?
What?
Poop Stain.
Poop Stain.
Poop Stain. It was going to be Shit Stain, but they wouldn't let me put shit, so it's Poop Stain.
Poop Stain.
I get called out on it every time I get on with somebody. They make sure to
You should have done it in like Leet speak. Like 5-hit stain.
Oh, okay. That would have been good.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're smart enough to block that as well, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it just kind of looks that way?
Yeah. Poop sounds all right, though. Poop Stain. He's an orange cat. Well, you know, yeah. He looks like the cat that I used to have who used to shit on the floor. So, hence the name Poop Stain. So, anyway, all the weapons control differently. So, you really need to try all of them. And they show videos when you're going through and trying to select your weapon. It'll show you a video of how it controls basically and how it looks. But some weapons are really fast. Some of them are really slow. But the slower ones obviously would do more damage. Faster ones would do damage over time.
Now, I mean, so we already just talked about like the downfalls of playability in Monster Hunter 3.
Yes.
In a basic sense. So do you feel like they really cleaned up all those bugs and issues?
The controls are so much better in Monster Hunter World than they were in 3. The lock-on mechanic is still kind of crappy, but you don't really need it. It feels more intuitive when you're playing with the PS3 PS4 controller.
Does the leveling system feel more rewarding this time around?
The leveling, not really. No, I wouldn't say that it does. It's more rewarding to get items off of the monsters that you kill. There's a huge abundance of monsters in this game. So every mission that you take on, you're going to go kill a new monster, and you're going to get gear from that monster, and that gear that you get, or not gear, you get innards, as what I call it.
Right.
You get bones and skin.
You get some guts.
You get guts, man. And you take those guts and you turn it into weapons or armor. And each armor set...
Here first, kids. Beat guts, look cool.
That's right. That's the draw of the game. Like, the armor looks so awesome. Like,
does it?
The designs on the armor is really cool.
You know, I stopped even watching Monster Hunter World videos because I thought maybe watching them, like some gameplay videos and stuff, would kind of sate my desire. It made it worse.
The thing is,
made it worse.
The game to me is not. It's not as fun to me to play by myself.
Yeah,
it is a multiplayer game through and through. Like, if I get on there and play, it's because one of my friends is on and I'm going to play with them. Otherwise, I'm not going to play the game.
Literally every single friend I have that plays games or that I play games with is playing this game right now.
And for good reason.
Literally every single one of my gamer friends is playing this game. I'm the only one that's not.
If you don't have time to put in for multiplayer and playing with your buddies, then it's probably not for you anyway. But if you do, it's so worth it. You get on there First of all, that's the draw of collecting this gear because you want to show it off to your buddies. Hey, look, I got this full armor set from this monster that I just killed, and I can't think of their names. They all got weird names, and
I've got a nice handbag from another monster.
Basically, yes. I mean, you are beautifying your character.
Yeah.
And you're showing it off, and you're showing off your different skills and everything. And when you guys are taking out this monster, you're watching your buddy over there doing all this finesse, and he's got this cool armor on. He's like, oh, damn, I need to get that or get something close to it, And so it's always a struggle to make sure that you got the best looking armor.
Yeah.
Even though we don't directly compare ourselves, when we're playing the game.
You don't do it out loud.
I'm like, but I can't help. I'm watching the game. I'm watching JJ. JJ's just like flipping around on this monster. He's got a glaive. It's like a bug insect weapon that shoots and
right.
I don't know. I've never used it.
He's making you look like you're swinging around Lincoln Logs over here.
He looks like he's got some finesse going on. So I'm watching him play. I'm like, oh, this is cool. But I've got a bow. I'm always the archer. I love shooting the bow.
Right.
So I'm standing back, shooting the bow, and then I can do my power. Where you pull back and you hold it, and it takes about 3 seconds to fire off the shot, maybe a little longer. So, and it puts you in danger of getting hit. But if you can nail it perfectly, it does a lot of damage. And there's another attack that I can do that rains like these spiky balls from the sky and falls on top of the monster, but it only stays in one spot. Right. So if the monster moves, it does you no good. There's a lot of strategy involved, and that's what's another thing that makes it fun. So when you get on there with your friends, you're cooperating, but you're also kind of you're working around each other's strengths and weaknesses. Like JJ, for instance, he could take the monster down and like stun it for a short period of time, where we can do some really good damage. That's when I can drop those spike balls on it and get that nice big shot off on it. Billy, when he plays, he uses I think he changed it, but he was using an axe for a while, and that thing is really strong, and that thing can take down a monster and get it weakened. Brody plays too, my brother Brody. He uses a sword and shield, and with the sword and shield, you hold the shield, and every time you take a hit, it doesn't really, you'll lose minimal amount of health, but it charges your shield or your sword attack.
Is there a magician? Or is it all weapons based?
It's all weapons based. Yeah, there's no magic or anything. But there is cool like fire weapons, like there's one weapon, it's like a gun, I think, but every time you fire it, it shoots fire and makes a cool sound. It's real bright and colorful. There's a lot of cool stuff. Like you could truly create a unique character that works well and together with the other characters. So the gameplay is amazing, and I can't speak highly enough of the co-op. The graphics are stunning, to say the least. There's so much detail. Like, I know you playing with the 3DS game, there's a lot of detail in that little handheld game.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, it's almost overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. Yeah. I'll tell you that right now. It is absolutely overwhelming. To try to play on that little thing, I feel like I'm going to break it.
Yeah.
Kind of,
I played, which one are you, 3 or 4? 3DS. They're both pretty similar.
Did you play both of them?
I've played 3 on the Wii U and 4 on the 3DS.
It's the one that opens with you on a ship.
I think that's 4.
And you're fighting a sand dragon, and you gotta rescue a hat.
That's the one I have.
Yeah.
So that game, I tried playing it, and there was so much going on the screen that it just was overwhelming, and I was like, this screen is too small for this.
I'm probably just gonna end up putting Super Smash Brothers or Ocarina of Time back in there and moving on with my life.
Yeah. I mean,
or A Link Between Worlds. That one I haven't played yet.
Yeah, that's a great one. You need to get back to. I know I've told you this already.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to get on that one. But imagine all of that detail and all that graphics on an HD TV, but made, to be current, and the graphics, I mean, the textures, the graphics, everything, the monster designs are incredible.
Now, would you play Monster Hunter VR if they dropped it?
I think it would be too much. Like, I would go into that world. It might be like
sensory overload.
Yeah. It too many colors. It might make me sick. Which, I won't get into it, but I was playing Skyrim. Skyrim is one of those games that when I played in VR, I can only play for 30 minutes to an hour before I'm done. And it literally, like, it starts off with my stomach getting a little bit queasy, and then the more longer I play, then I'm like, I'm going to throw up, and I got to take the thing off. And that feeling doesn't go away for a while.
Have you jumped off a cliff yet?
In Skyrim?
Yeah.
I believe so.
That seems to me like the first thing you would need to do is, like, stand on your couch and look out over a cliff and jump off your couch the same time you make your guy jump off the cliff, just to see how it feels.
Dude, I would kill myself doing that.
If it wasn't at the risk of me breaking your things, I would say you should let me try it.
Let's not. But VR would be kind of cool in that game. But it's too fast paced for VR. Fighting the monsters is pretty fast paced. They move constantly, and you have to be aware of their attacks, so you kind of play them. The battles are long enough that you learn their attack patterns. You know when they're about to charge up. When they charge up for something, you know what it's going to do.
Right.
So you know how to avoid it. The dodge mechanic works really well in the game. They've got most of their monsters are combining two real world animals together to make this monster. Like one of my favorite
horse rat.
Sure. Yeah,
I bet it's in there.
Probably.
It's gotta be in there.
There's one that I was fighting. One of my favorite ones. He's an electric-based monster, but he's got the face of a snake and the body of like a ferret or something. Just real fast, and he's got a long tail, and he moves around, and he's just all over the place. But he's got this scary-looking face of a snake. Yeah, and he's got all these teeth in his mouth and stuff. He's really cool character design. When I saw him for the first time, I was like, that's awesome.
Like, do you think they just sat in the room and drew animals out of a hat?
Oh yeah.
What do you guys think about a fucking porcupine sloth?
I wouldn't be surprised in the least. Yeah.
Are we allowed to make one with a gun for a face?
The monster designs are incredible, and that's another thing that keeps you coming back. The music is awesome. The music it's hummable all the way through. I'll just sit there playing the game, and the guys probably get sick of me humming the main world hub song. It sticks to you. It sticks with you, and it plays like the orchestrated music plays really strong whenever you're in the heat of battle. So it really helps heighten what's going on.
I think it's time to make the announcement that Adrian is actually dropping an album soon, and it's just him humming theme songs from video games.
I could put a microphone right next to me while I'm humming the songs, and there you go.
Yeah. Just Hub World theme songs. That's it. It's gonna be called Night Night Hubba Hubba with Adrian Bertazoid Townsend. The cover art is him in a red robe.
That's right.
With a gun face.
Sitting next to the candlelit bathtub.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's my dream.
So,
sorry, I have to jump in with the jokes because I can't relate to what you're talking about.
That's all right. I just wanted to express, like, if you guys are on the fence, if anybody's on the fence with this game and you have friends that are already playing it, just play it. Get in there and play it. You're going to have a good time with it. It's absolutely worth the cost, in my opinion. It's probably one of the best co-op multiplayer games I've played in a long time, since Dark Souls. I'm a huge Dark Souls fan. And people are drawing common, relating this to Dark Souls.
Finding a thread in there.
Yeah, and I can see that. I mean, the way that you have to plan your attacks, the way that every weapon has an animation that you have to sit through, and you can't just go in and start swinging your sword because you're going to die. You have to... Every attack is thought out, and that's what makes it fun. Dark Souls is very much the same way. And then doing that with friends and it's just a great game. It's a great game. All the hype is hyping for a reason. I'm done. I've said all I can say.
All right, guys, that is a wrap on this episode. Just kidding. We still have to talk about beer.
We do. Real quick though.
Real quick.
I know you've been talking about cryptocurrency a little bit lately. You've asked me a question or two about it.
Man, I've been researching it.
I haven't. I have zero interest in it until I started researching or looking into possibly upgrading my video card on my computer. And guess what I found out?
Are you trying to upgrade your video card on your computer so you can mine for...
Absolutely not.
For crypto coins?
Not even
because that's what everybody's doing with them.
So, yeah, I get on there.
So that's what you found out?
Huh?
That's what you found out? That's what everybody's doing with them?
Yes, this is what I found out. Like, it took some digging, but this is what I found out.
Did it take some mining? Data mining?
Yeah,
research?
I guess so.
Nerd jokes.
Dude, you got me. Yeah. I get on there, like, I was like, hey, I wonder if the 1080, because I was pricing the 1080 a year ago. I was looking into buy one year ago, and it was about $600-ish.
Right.
I couldn't remember how long. $500 to $600, I want to say. I was like, oh, it's really high, and here it is a year later. I'm like, surely they've dropped the price on this thing, and, maybe I can get one now. Well, little did I know, I get on there, I'm on Newegg, and all of the 1080s are like $1,200 or more. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, what the hell happened? Why are these so expensive all of a sudden?
That's all out of my depth anyway. I'm pretty sure that my desktop graphics card might like be an Etch-a-Sketch. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I built my computer 4 years ago, I think. Yeah, about 4 years ago. My graphic card is still really good, but if it's within reason to upgrade it, I wanted to do it. But no, not for that much. So I look into it, I was like, what the hell happened? Why is this card so expensive now? And
cryptocurrency.
I find out that people are using graphics cards for mining cryptocurrency. So I wanted to pick your brain a little bit because I know you've been talking about researching it a little bit.
Yeah, man.
I know nothing about this.
Okay. I didn't really know anything about it, but maybe about a month ago, I came into contact with some of my old high school friends. And I think they listened to the show. Ryan Goodger and Colby Ellison and Jason Wallace and Nick Cosentino. These four guys that I ran around with in high school. And they invited me into a Discord chat room that they had created. You're familiar with Discord, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because I have the Just a Bit Discord. We're on Discord now, too. Talking about social media, we are on Discord now.
You are.
I am, but my I don't know, my fucking profile picture is our logo.
Okay.
So technically, and I'm on there as Chumpy Crash, parentheses, Just a Bit Gaming Podcast. Yeah, they invited me into this Discord room that they had put together, and there's like a couple cryptocurrency discussions that they have on there because these guys, specifically Ryan and Colby and Jason, they all three have functioning like cryptocurrency portfolios. Like they've invested in different coins, altcoins is what they're called. And so I've been learning a bit about like the function of them in the modern world, and I still don't get it. If we're being completely transparent, I'm trying really hard to understand it, not necessarily because like I want to invest and I want to be part of it or ride the wave or what have you, but because I've been using the Just a Bit page to troll people on Twitter about cryptocurrency, I need to know more about what I'm trolling.
How are you trolling them?
Like, okay, there's this one guy on there who's like a cryptocurrency guru, and there was a whole discussion going on his page about it. And this one person got on there and goes, "Hey, I need your advice." Okay. Let me backtrack. In the cryptocurrency world, there's a phrase called HODL, HODL.
Okay.
And it started on Reddit from someone talking about their holdings, like holding their coins whenever the price dips and like waiting it out for it to rise again, but they misspelled hold and spelled HODL instead.
Okay.
And it became a thing.
Okay.
Like a phrase. Yeah. Or lol,
Yeah.
So this person said, "I need some advice. I want to put hold across my knuckles on one hand and fast on the other, and a Bitcoin on the back of one hand and a pirate ship on a Red Sea on the back of the other hand. Is that too much?" So I just responded with, "Technically speaking, shouldn't it be HODL on the first hand?" And this person was like, "No way, man. HODL is newbie lingo. I'm a pirate." And it was like, I ride this shit, ride the wave, white knuckle it, and wait for the dip. So I pulled out my handy dandy meme maker on my phone, and made a meme of a pirate holding a bag of potato chips, and it said, "Are you ready for the dip?" And I sent it to this person, and they blocked us on Twitter.
Oh, good job.
So now I just need to know more about. Need to know more. I'm intrigued enough about it that I want to learn what's going on with it, because I can't decide.
How do you even do a picture of something that doesn't exist?
Because each of the altcoins has like a logo.
Okay.
So they were gonna get like a Bitcoin logo on the back of their hand. Like a few weeks ago, a new altcoin called Garlic Coin got launched because someone made a joke about wishing garlic bread was alternative currency.
See, this is why I can't get behind something that is so ridiculous.
Up and launch a currency. Yeah. And that's what I don't get about it. That's why I'm pretty ambivalent towards its existence. I'm just curious.
Here's my thing. Can I take a credit card that uses cryptocurrency and go to the store and buy something?
Yes.
You can.
At certain establishments. Like, there are a lot of places that do accept cryptocurrency as actual currency.
Places that are normal places that
like there are restaurants in Oklahoma City that accept Bitcoin.
That's crazy to me. That is really crazy.
It's just bizarre. But then when you think about it, whenever someone invented the United States dollar, I'm sure everybody was like, who the fuck is going to let me take all of this stuff in exchange for a stack of little papers?
True, but you're talking about something that doesn't exist. There's no like tangible thing that you can...
its existence is figurative. Like, just like the value on paper money. That's the argument for it.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever you hand someone your credit card that goes to your bank account, you're not handing them physical tangible money either. You're handing them the data proximity of your money.
I could see that. But at the same time, man, it's so far out there, and I could be wrong for not investing, but it's not. There's nothing there to tell me that this is a smart investment.
I haven't invested either, and so I guess whenever the world changes and the like world currency is like Bitcoin or some shit like that, and we didn't invest, and we're both still broke, then I mean, at least nothing's changed, right?
Yeah, that's.
I'll just be broken in online terms too.
There you go. Well, I mean, so getting back to the video cards though, do you know how what is data farming or
data mining, ant mining? Like, basically what they're doing is they're taking these graphic cards and modifying them with like into a little, like, you can buy already like put together mining rigs, basically.
And I've seen these on Craigslist. People say selling their mining kit.
Yeah. And then you run that through your computer and it basically reaches into the web. And because whenever someone releases, like when Bitcoin got released, for instance, there's only a set number of Bitcoins in existence online. Okay. And so people have to find them and can earn them through different things. And then once that number of Bitcoins is owned or used up, depleted, so to speak, the figurative like mold breaks. There will be no more Bitcoins to go around except for
the ones that
holder to holder trading. And so these mining rigs, to my knowledge, dig in and find these altcoins. Really, these guys that I've been talking to about it, they've been talking about, I think I told you, they've been talking about doing like an alt currency podcast, and invited us to go like ask our questions, and that
would be interesting because I'm genuinely interested in it. Not interested in enough to invest, obviously, but I'm just whole concept seems so far out there to me.
Right. I just want to learn about it. Really. I want to know what's going on there because it is interesting to me, and honestly, I'm kind of on the edge of being interested enough to invest.
Really?
Just out of that sheer extreme curiosity.
If I were to ever invest, it would be like
sex
very
toys.
Little.
Sorry.
Very little.
It's like an industry that's not going anywhere. Let's be honest.
Like if you go to the casino, for me, if I go to the casino, it's like, this is my set amount of money that, I would have used for something else. Anyway, I'll throw it away. If I win something great, if I lose it, whatever. It'd be like throwaway money, which I don't have a lot of.
Did you know the one time I went to a casino, I gave myself a $20 limit and I ended up changing it out for quarters and spent it all in the arcade.
That's funny, man. I didn't know they had arcades. Which casino did you go to?
It was By Tulsa.
Oh, man. I don't know.
All right.
There's so many of them. Oklahoma is filled with casinos, if you guys didn't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
There's so many
People love the prospect of winning money and are somehow unfettered by not winning money.
I've been to the casino maybe 3 times. One of the times I went there, I won the $1,600 jackpot. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
A guy I work with came in last week and was bumming a cigarette from someone. And I heard him go, well, you know, I would have stopped and gotten some, but I didn't win at the casino last night. And I was like, wait, how much did you lose at the casino to not have enough money to stop and buy some smokes?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I played $400.
Oh.
And I said, and you won nothing? He goes, well, I won $30. I was like, well, that's not winning $30. Oh. That's losing $370.
That's right. That's right. Oh, man. Yeah, that sucks. Like, I can't do that. That's why I don't go there, because you will lose more often than you win.
It's because the moment you walk in, I'm absolutely like, I believe this. They pump a chemical through the air conditioner vents that the moment you walk in, you imagine and believe that you are now wearing a cowboy hat and an ankle-length duster and carrying a 6-shooter, and you are the infallible cool guy of history that is going to win you some money and ride off into the sunset. It's got to be the truth.
On top of that, when you get...
Same thing happens at Disneyland. But it turns you into a cookie or some shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you're sitting down at one of those machines, it's so easy to be like, push that button. One more. And then you're like, oh, I need to just cash out right now.
Because then you've got the thought of, I've just played this slot 15 times. What if this guy waiting behind me jumps up, pops in a quarter, and wins my $5,000? Because then I'm going to go to jail for assault.
It's like, no, he can't win that money. That's kind of what I did, actually. I was watching some it was a woman. She was playing the slot machine. It was like $5 max bid slot, and she was winning. And then she just got up and left. And I was like, wait a second, that machine's hot. And she just got up and left. I put like, I don't know, $20 in there. It wasn't that much. And on my second spin is when I hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
And she came back over there and was watching and was like all jealous and stuff. And as soon as I got my money, I was done. And she sat back down at the machine. And the machine was still putting out after that. It wasn't the jackpot, but it was still putting out.
Well,
and
I mean, putting out and hitting the jackpot are different things.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, other people, may put out, but Adrian gets the jackpot.
So, to bring it back around, when is this going to die down? When can I buy my 1080?
Honestly, man, the fact is right now that it's been on a downward trend for a couple of weeks, the value of the altcoins. Once again, this is all to my knowledge. I may be completely off base, but I think it's down, and that may be the reason your shit is so expensive, is because the value is down, so the people that are really into it may be building their mining rigs or whatever to try to find more while the value is down.
Right.
So they can like fatten their portfolio and get stacked up
or hodl
and hodl it and then get past get past the dip and ride the wave. At least I think I've got the terminology down. Yeah. So this is your lesson in cryptocurrency with Ryan Chumpy Crash Reynolds. You're welcome, everybody.
Well, I will get my 1080 one of these days.
You will.
Just not this year, probably.
And in the meantime, I'm going to work on formulating and launching a jab coin.
There we go. That's a great idea.
Yes. That
is a great idea. Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll just always be worth nothing.
We could do something with it.
Yeah, we'll disseminate them amongst the people and then say they're worth nothing, and we'll scoop them all back up and be like, wait a minute, now they're worth a whole bunch. And then we'll buy you your graphics card.
That's basically how it works in my mind. That's how it works.
So in your mind, the person creating and releasing these coins is like this old saggy ass miser wearing a monocle. It's like, first I give it to the people and then I take it back from the people.
You do that too well.
The internet is my coin purse.
All right.
So yeah, I'll ask my friends if they want to try to clue us in.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if
nothing else, I can use this as bait to get them to listen to the show.
There you go. There you go. You gave them a shout out. So Ryan, what you drinking?
I am drinking. Well, it's Coop again.
Dude, it's always Coop. We should just rename the podcast Just a Bit Coopcast.
Just a Bit Coopcast. You know, what really needs to happen is we need to get with Coop and be like, we've run out of beers to review on our show, so you need to partner with us and make
the Jabcast beer.
The Jabcast. I already named it too. The Auxiliary Porter.
I like that.
Auxiliary Porter. Yeah, with our little boxing glove on the front.
That's a good one, man.
Yeah.
So I guess we need to review all their beers at once in order to get that privilege.
Gaming Hopcast. So anyway, we are drinking
I like that too.
the Coop Alpha Hive Double IPA
with the bee who's got a little hop.
He's got a hop butt.
But that's so funny.
Yeah, it's cute. That's a good logo. It is. And it's.
I wish though it covered the whole can. I don't like how they just did it like
it's just kind of in that window. Stylistically,
if this whole can was that yellow beehive thing and they had that
would look pretty bomb.
Oh, it would look awesome.
Stylistically, I feel like this is kind of a departure from their other artwork.
It really is. I agree. Like looking at this can, while I like the creative hop bee and everything, it goes along with the rest of their cans, I guess, with having the solid background.
Right.
But to me, this can could be so much more.
Yeah. I mean, it's good though.
But this is a double IPA. Buddy of mine actually
it doesn't feel like it's biting your throat.
It's pretty bitter. I
mean, it's bitter, but it's not. You know, it doesn't hurt to drink it.
Yeah, it tastes very similar to the F5. I mean,
well, it's got that sweetness.
It is
on the backside because it's made with like
honey,
cherry blossom honey or something like that. It probably says on the can.
This double IPA is infused with a fierce American hop profile and a delicate bee-crafted orange blossom honey from Northern California. A sting of dankness, floral notes, and many compelling nuance make this spring seasonal delicious.
Dank AF, fam.
Dankness.
Dank.
It's a good beer. It really is.
It really is.
It really complements the bitterness of the hops.
Yeah, it's tasty for sure. Big fan. Once again, Coop bringing it like they know what they're doing.
And the other thing that's great about this beer, you don't need to drink very many of them to get where you want to be. This stuff is 9.1% alcohol.
Wow.
Yeah, that's strong. To give you a comparison, I think F5 is like a 7 point.
It may not even be that strong.
Really?
And then the Coops that we've been reviewing the past couple of shows were the weak ones, 4 point gas station beers. So this is a treat. I'm still a big fan of that spare rib though. I still drink it a lot.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, this has a creamy, almost kind of like a stout.
It's got a really nice body to it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. It's thick. Like thick with 2 C's.
I would go that far. Yeah. It's to me, it's like a stout mixed with an IPA, and the right amount of sweetness to
and I think
throw it all together.
I think that kind of thick, not quite syrupy, but that thick body of it with that sweet on the finish kind of lends. I don't know. It's just got like a tangibility to it that other IPAs don't. Like other IPAs have a really thin viscosity. That's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
A very thin viscosity, very, very fluid with just such a harsh attack of hops. Mm-hmm. And this has, it's a double IPA and it's a strong beer because you can taste the alcohol content, but you can also taste that kind of dankness that it detailed on the can and the sweetness, especially coming off the aroma. Mm-hmm. But you can taste this progression of these flavors and how balanced the brewing process was from beginning to end. And I think a lot of that has to do with the viscosity itself of the actual liquid, just because it has a heavier mouthfeel than other beers. So it's almost like more of your mouth gets covered whenever you're drinking it.
I could see that. Yeah. It does. It's a fuller flavor.
As far as, I guess craft IPAs and slightly decorative variations on IPAs go, this one has more of a sensory experience to it than a lot of others.
So it says that it's a spring seasonal thing. So I guess this is a This is only coming around in the spring.
Yeah, they've only been brewing Alpha Hive for a small number of years, and it is a spring exclusive.
Oh, so this has been around before.
It's been around before.
Okay, I've never had it.
They released it for the first time, I want to say 2 seasons ago.
Okay,
and I might be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong.
So it's kind of like an Oktoberfest,
Yeah, it's just a different tradition on their side. Because they also have the Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
I think whenever they run out of this is when they start brewing the Oktoberfest.
Cool. Well, good on you, Goop. Another great beer. I mean, there's not much you can say.
What else can you say about it?
What else? When have we had a bad Coop beer? We haven't. It just doesn't exist. It's a great brewery. It's great. Yeah. I'm proud to have such great local breweries around here.
I'm going to be honest. I have had Coop beers in my fridge that were far past their best by date.
Yeah.
And didn't taste the same, and I still drank them.
Oh yeah,
because they were still good.
It's one of those things. It's like I'm trying to think of a bad Oklahoma brewery. There just isn't one, man. There really isn't. I've got a favorite beer from each brewery.
There's some that I prefer, and some that I feel could use some work. But the truth of that matter is, I'm not going to call out the ones that I feel like need work either.
You don't need to.
I mean, need to, because they're just doing a good job. Damn it,
all of them are. They really are. And I would like to get some more local breweries in here.
Yeah. We need to start our live remote series that we talked about.
That's another thing, yeah.
That's another thing. What an enthusiastic response!
Oh man, it's. How about I go there and I'll be the cameraman for you to talk to those guys.
Deal.
I don't feel knowledgeable enough to carry on a conversation about the beer. I know what I like. I know why I like it. I don't know anything about the brewing process.
Each time we try a new beer, I'll just give you a list of buzzwords.
There we go.
And when someone turns to you, you can just be like, yeah, well, the hops,
Yeah.
Or, the mash was obviously used.
I feel like I say something about the hops every time because that's basically the only thing I really understand.
Well, you're just kind of hard for them.
Yeah, that's right. I love my hops,
The boy likes a hop.
Ryan, where can you find us?
Instagram. At Jabs.
I threw it on you, man. I was hoping you'd get it.
I know. At least I didn't say online this time. On the internet. At JabGcast on the Instagram and at JabGcast on the Twitter.
That's right.
And Just a Bit Gaming Podcast on YouTube.
Right.
Just a Bit Gaming Podcast on Facebook. And you can find me on Discord now. Let me pull this up because I think you have to have a little number to talk about it. I've got a Discord account, a personal account, but I don't know anything about the Jab one, so you'll have to send me an invite. All right. You can find me. It is Ryan, parentheses open, Chumpy Crash, parentheses closed, number 8872. And that is the Discord that we've been operating on.
Awesome.
So we're having a good time with that. I'm having a good time with it. I say we, but Adrian is as yet uninvolved.
I will give it a shot.
Deadbeat.
I have a Discord on my computer. I use it to talk to some of my buddies on there when they're playing games. But when we play PUBG, we use Discord.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll give it a shot. But other than that, I want to reiterate. Join us on Instagram, man.
Please do. We're having a good time with it.
I'm really enjoying the posts Ryan's been putting out. I feel like I'm slacking a little bit, not getting stuff up there. But it doesn't matter because he's getting those daily. Not daily.
Close to daily.
It's
like
a weekly,
a few times a week.
Well, daily posts, but you're putting out like weekly questions, and the questions are good. And I think if we can get some response on there, it'll give us some good topics to talk about on the show.
I mean, I'm about out of things to talk to Adrian about at this point. Sick of looking at him. We're in that 7-year slump.
We need to hear what people are interested in.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
We'll have an opinion on it, I'm sure.
And to wrap it up, we need to introduce our new sponsor. I'm kidding.
I was like, what?
We don't have one of those.
Well, guys, it's been fun. Episode 19 is a wrap. Hitting a milestone. Next podcast, 20.
Yeah, Mad Daddy Gracchus needs to stop in with a new song.
There we go. You're right, man. That would be fun. All right, guys. That's a wrap. Thanks for joining us. Bye.